morning. Welcome to Community Voice. I'm your host, Keith Parris. I want to thank everybody for joining us on this cold on such a winter day.
Shiver me timbers out there.
This is deceptive too. You see all that sun. You go out there. And the Hawk ain't even kicked in yet. I think the Hawk's supposed to be here a little bit later on this afternoon.
Man, the Hawk himself is in his nest. Like, I'm not going out there.
Man. That's the price of living in paradise.
Right. Oh, think twice.
That is definitely the price of living in paradise.
Another day for you.
Make sure I heard.
Wednesday. Look at me, man. Today.
Are you rushing it?
He rushing.
Come on, let's go.
Let me back up. Good morning, Debo.
Good morning, my brother. How are you?
No home
hat on there.
No home
You got
training.
What up, Jermaine?
God bless you there, Pastor.
See Michelle.
What up, player?
See Michelle.
Scared of the fireplace? What up, player?
I wasn't scared of the fireplace.
Put it out.
Yeah, okay. That's all baby had to do is get burnt up. We had baby Friday, she was here in the studio, and so she was doing s'mores.
How you lose the baby Friday, man? That's
dude, that was crazy. I come out like, where's baby? She in the bathroom. Now baby gone.
She hit it.
She didn't hit it like she Uber out of here.
I'm out of here, man. What kind of supervising are you doing, man?
Yeah, thank you all, man. Now, good looking out for her, man, y'all. Now, all those famous cookies. She took some home. They were good. I ate some the other night. They was really good. So let me thank you all for looking out. But anyway, we were going. Baby is coming by to do s'mores. So we had got the fire started, and we had the little marshmallows in there. So we're videotaping it, and she pulls it out. Now she's scared of the fire as well. She should be. Yeah. She's pulling it out. I'm going like, blow it out, blow it out. And so Michelle could hear me in the video going, blow it out, because I didn't want her to catch on fire. Try to explain to her mama, what had happened. Burn her up.
Yeah,
right there, So then Michelle said some slick, and
wouldn't be Michelle if she didn't,
I got back with her and said safety first.
Yeah,
safety first when it comes to the kids, and so she had a great time. She set her tent up. Rhonda called it urban camping. So she had this little tent. She was in the middle. She handles that tent. So now we're getting mad. It's tough, but it's really amazing, putting it together, this little pup tent, and what you have to do. And she was no help trying to help.
No help trying to help.
Let me do Black History Month, our reading list. Today's book is Invisible Man by Ralph Ellison. Invisible Man by Ralph Ellison. This is a seminal work, one of his greatest works. And let me just read the opening as part of the prologue. He says, I am an invisible man. No, I'm not the spook like those who haunted Edgar Allan Poe. Nor am I the one of your Hollywood movie ectoplasms. I'm a man of substance, of flesh and bone, fiber and liquids, and I might even be said to possess a mind. I am invisible, understand simply because people refuse to see me. Like the bodiless heads that you sometimes see in circus sideshows, it is though I have been surrounded by mirrors of hard, distorting glass. When they approach me, they see only my surroundings, themselves, or figments of their imagination. Indeed, everything and anything except me. That's the opening paragraph from the book Invisible Man. This is considered Richard Wright's greatest book in terms of the many that he has written, but this one is, so again, The Invisible Man. I'm so Ralph Ellison.
So
native son is Richard Wright.
I got it up on screen, so
I'm looking right at
it.
Yeah. But reading is fundamental, right?
It is.
So again, Invisible Man, Ralph Ellison's greatest book, Invisible Man. So if you get a chance, part of our reading list for the month. Man, what's happening? White people taking over the NBA? What?
Man, I'm gonna tell you what it is, man.
First of all, Ajax, poor dude. What would they say? Poor baby.
See, but you know what?
He really too big.
Yeah. Well, he actually did some good dunks.
Yeah, but
they not gonna give it. It was. Speaking of that, I don't mean to change the subject, but did you see that man get swallowed by the whale?
Yeah,
So that again, I was telling people because people were saying that from the biblical point. it's impossible because the whale stomach and he can't swallow
Well,
and
it didn't
spit.
say
and-
he was in the stomach.
no, hold on.
The whale spit him out.
No, wait, but he said the guy said he thought he was dead because it was dark for a minute
It's slimy.
when he
Yeah.
was spit out.
What
So
y'all
the
talking about?
whale had digested a
Yeah.
guy and then spitting back out. But scientists was saying from the biblical principle, it's impossible for that to ever happen, and it just happened real time.
Well, the belly, but if he spit him out, that means that he was just at the upper part, and he realized what it was. It wasn't a fish, and it raft, and so I'm assuming the whale then spit him out. The amazing thing was his father kept filming. His father
Yeah.
didn't try to help him; he just kept filming.
This guy came out and a lot. He said he thought he was dead.
Wouldn't you?
Of course, though it go black and
Yeah.
you hear "Roar," and then
Oh, so whales don't eat people, just
no,
sharks.
no, not at all.
No. I mean, he figured out it was a person.
He was like, "Hold on, man, this cat ain't no seasoning on it," so he spit him out.
Yeah. So that opens up for all those people who really believe. And
Jonah was in the belly of the whale.
Yeah, Jonah was in the belly of the whale. But yeah, that was crazy. Then split him out whole. He
Yeah.
was still in the kayak.
Like right, still in the thing,
He was
like
what?
still
Still
in the
the
boat,
kayak.
like you in the boat. I holler,
He didn't come out. The boat came out. Him and the boat
yeah,
came out.
at the same time.
Wow. But that shows you how big that whale is.
Man, that's
That
But they
whale
said
is
it's
huge.
also, they said it was, this is what one of the scientists said, because physically it was impossible to even swallow.
exactly.
The humpback whale likely engulfed, blah, blah, blah. The whale was likely feeding on a school of fish when it unintentionally scooped up
Right.
the kayak along with its meal. But they were saying that physically it's not even possible to swallow.
To do it whole. Right. So
Yeah, well, I mean, but I'm trying to figure out how would they know if they ain't never been in the mouth
look like
of a
something
whale.
from Star
Because
Wars.
you've opened them up. You've done the research. Come on now.
No, I'm just saying it's just funny. Well, I ain't even go there. I ain't even go there because it's gonna open up a whole nother can.
I'm just
I
saying.
ain't even
but I
finna go
can't get
there.
over that his dad kept recording.
I mean, what else was he supposed to do? Like you can't call.
And they said he was
911?
only in there for a few seconds. The whale trapped the kayaker in its mouth for a few seconds.
Well,
then the whale released it.
it went up, went down in the water for a minute, and then came back up and then spit him out.
There you go.
Yeah.
But again,
Experts keep saying he couldn't have swallowed it even if he wanted to.
Well, how they know?
well, they study whales, man.
I don't care what you study. How you know, man?
How you
I ain't
know
finna
you
open
study?
this
That's
whole
how you
can
know,
up.
because you
No,
study.
No, wait.
That's how you know.
Did you study a live whale or a dead whale?
They probably
Was you in the
have.
mouth of the whale?
They
Did you go
probably
down?
have.
I
They
ain't trying to hear
probably
that,
have
man.
done all that. So how you deal with these people?
Because I have to love all African people.
No, that guy could be in your fallback.
I have to.
No.
There's an obligation that I have.
I thought about you yesterday.
What's that?
I was watching Unsung. Angela Bofield,
Mm,
Phyllis Hyman.
mm.
I was having a little duo going, like going back at it. But I didn't know Angela Bofield had suffered 2 strokes.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
And that's what took her out. But as soon as I heard him singing, I don't know why you came to my mind, but just the beauty and the quality of her voice. And they was just talking about how brothers it was just, but I said, but sisters too, because her voice was just so pure.
Oh, it was a quiet storm. I
Yeah.
mean, she was like ubiquitous. Her, Phyllis Hyman. I don't know why I was doing something Saturday night. Oh, it's frying chicken wings, and I had music.
Oh, you ain't
going.
call nobody? It's like that.
Yeah, I couldn't find my phone. I was gonna call you. I said, "Where is my phone?"
Dude, don't use my stuff on me.
Damn, I was gonna call her.
Don't use my stuff on me.
Can't find my phone.
That's my
But but they played Andrew Bofield, and I think about I was telling people I missed a lot of hip hop because I was still in the quiet storm, so I had to get caught up on hip hop, right?
Okay,
And so, but Angela Bofield was here for Bastille Days back in the day.
Keisha said she thinks she saw her She think maybe she saw her at African World Festival or something.
Right. And I think people thought she was on drugs, but she was really dealing with some neurological things that
She never used drugs.
right. That made, but people, oh man, it was some other things. But Angela Bofield, Afro-Cuban.
Yep.
Which is interesting
but
because
her daddy identified as white Cuban. Her mother identified as Afro-Cuban.
But it's interesting when you were, your whole debate on this whole cultural piece during Black History Month.
Okay.
And I thought about, though, if I just kept it to the United States of America, there were other influences still in the Western Hemisphere. I think about Marcus Garvey, who was Jamaican. Right. I think about even with hip hop. A lot of the early hip hop guys were descendants of Caribbean Africans, and
but my preference and point is Black history. So it doesn't matter where you from, what the experiences were in this country.
But the only people in the world that's considered Blacks is American descendants of enslaved Africans, right?
I get that part. I get that part.
But I thought it was the influences that we have in terms of those folks, certainly in the Caribbean, and the impact. Because is Malcolm? I don't think his father. I know his father was a Garveyite.
You're talking about Malcolm X.
Malcolm X, yeah. And Friday, we're going to do a commemoration. That's the assassination date of Malcolm X, February 21st. So. We'll really talk about that. And
I know Sister Herrera was, and I can't remember if she did it last year, but she wanted to start, how we have like King Fest. She wanted to do something for Malcolm X because, as influential as his brother
Let me give you another reason why I love all African people all over the world.
Why?
Back in the day, we drove down to Anacostia Park.
Okay.
For Malcolm X's birthday celebration.
Okay.
We went down because...
And for people that don't know where Anacostia Park
is in Southeast D.C. And so we go down, and I think it was supposed to be EU. And
the
Rare
band
Essence.
EU.
Yeah, go. Yeah, EU. And Rare Essence. And so we going down for that. I think we were there for about 27 minutes. We never got to EU because Negroes decided to clown. I'll never forget the park police.
And do what?
You know what they do? Start running, got a gun, start running. You've been at these shows, you know what happens, right? And so now we got the National Park Police on horseback. We looking like something from Selma. Dispersing.
Oh, Texas, but go ahead.
Texas. Oh yeah, Texas. I forgot all about that. Yeah.
I mean, just more recent. I'm just saying.
So, man, you want to go to a show, and that's the problem with free, because for free, you take everything to go along.
But that's free. Not the majority of the time. I mean, I equate it to African World Festival.
Been enough of the shows I've been to.
One time, and people just kept talking about it like it happened every year. It happened one time.
Okay.
One time.
I could tell you that I have been to some street things. The first, what's the whole thing? What was it? God, what radio station used to do it?
98.3.
Yeah, was it
down at the Summerfest grounds?
Before it got there, what was it called though? Oh,
Jam for Peace.
Jam for Peace.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The first Jam for Peace I went to was at Lincoln Park.
Sure was.
That's when Simpson was there.
Yeah, it was at Lincoln Park.
Oh my God, are you serious?
They started clouding. Somebody just texted me, reminded me. They
Lincoln
started
Park,
clouding, and you could hear Nick Ashford on the stage. Y'all need to stop now.
Wait.
But that's what he did. That's what he did.
Way too gay when you did that.
Y'all need to stop now.
Y'all need to stop now.
He didn't sound gay.
Valerie's a little bit more masculine than him.
He had a soft voice.
Oh my God.
Oh, Michelle, you terrible.
I'm just saying, he put a little twang on
I'm just going on what I'm a reporter. I have to report what I heard.
Hey, but first of all, I'm tripping out that it was at Lincoln Park, and
It was, and
Ashford
there was a
Simpson,
part of Lincoln
that's
Park I
crazy.
didn't even know was like you go back up in this
Sure
area,
was, yeah.
and it was like this big
And that stage,
field,
yeah,
and they set up the stage,
yeah. I
and
remember.
it was Ashford
that's
and
crazy.
Simpson, and they never performed.
They never performed.
No Mountain High Enough, no Valley. We didn't get none of that. None of them get Ashford and Simpson songs. And, hey,
What?
let me tell you something. One of the greatest songwriting duels, certainly in music at Motown, you know, where you had Ashford and Simpson, they wrote a lot of hits. Wrote a lot of hits. I mean, so.
Oh, speaking of real quick, and I see you got a caller, but little controversy with Boys to Men came up. So Boys to Men, Wanye, is that his name? Wanye?
Yeah, one year.
Was featured in a picture with Mike Johnson, the leader of the House. of
Oh, the
Representatives.
house. Okay.
And so he caught a whole bunch of flack. You know, people was like dragging him. What was you doing in this picture? So he is a part of a group of people that are lobbying for a bill that has gotten bipartisan support. And I thought about you, Jermaine, because what Wanye and all these artists are saying is the only people that get paid on songs that appear on the radio is the people who wrote the song.
Producers.
But if you sung the song, that's it. You don't get paid anymore.
Well, you don't.
Congress had a
though you don't
bill where
supposed to.
everybody. Well,
No, you don't supposed to, because to be honest with you, as a producer and a writer, the producer and the writer is doing 80-90% of the work, because they come
What
up.
about the
No.
musicians?
Hold on. The producers and the writer. So the producers is the musicians. The artist that sing the song
but the
that's not
musicians
really.
don't keep getting paid every
They don't
time.
get-
No.
a
Hold
song-
on. Listen, how it works is if I produce the song, if I play on the song, I'm a musician on the song. So is musician work for hire? Then you got the producer that produces it, you know, from the self.
were you binging on song yesterday?
Yeah.
Did you see the Emotions?
I was in and out, but I saw a lot of it.
Okay, so with the Emotions,
Yeah.
that song Boogie Wonderland.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
they wrote the song.
Yeah.
Okay, they then Maurice White then used their budget to produce the song.
Yeah.
Put the song on I Am.
Yeah.
Would not allow them to use the song
Yeah.
on their album.
Because they wouldn't clear it, right?
He wouldn't clear it.
Yeah.
And when you read his book, I'm gonna talk about that. When he talks about in the record industry, the whole thing with Little Anthony and the Imperials.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And what the record guy did
Yeah.
was there was the Puerto Rican guy who wrote a lot of their songs,
Yeah.
but the then guy put his name
Yeah. As a
on
co-writer.
as a co-writer and
Yeah.
producer.
Yeah. And that's
So
how they
you
do
get
that.
the publishing rights.
Mhm.
That's every time. That's the issue that you have here. Every time they're playing music,
Yeah.
you playing that song,
Yeah.
the songwriter is going to get it. And then
Yeah.
it gets down to what is the performance.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
And if you don't have anything saying that you're going to get the performance,
Yeah.
the issue at Death Row Records and Tupac,
Right.
who controlled the masters?
And
That was Prince. That's why Prince, it was so hard to sign him
But the thing
because
with
with every
Tupac
deal
is he wrote his stuff.
but you know, wait,
He
but this
did.
was the thing
Death
though.
Row
On the masters.
on the masters.
So Tupac was actually, before he died, and you can look this up, he was talking about starting another label. I think it was going to be called Death Row. Was it East or South or something? He was getting ready to start a whole nother label that he would have been in charge.
But I guess I'm confused because okay, I own the masters, but it sounds like I thought people still could get writing credit, even if somebody else owned
Hip
the
hop is a little bit
masters.
different because you own the masters, but then even in hip hop, there's publishers, there's people. There was a song I didn't know they sampled Sly on.
Yeah.
And but every time that sample played,
Yeah.
or them using that sample,
Yeah.
you watch documentaries a lot of times on musicians,
Yeah.
and you don't hear the actual song
Right.
because they can't afford the
couldn't clear
license.
it.
They
Yeah,
can't
they
get the
couldn't clear it.
clearance to be able to
Yeah.
use it.
Yeah.
So yes, the producers and the writers. Aretha Franklin is known for respect.
Yeah.
But it's Otis Redding's estate that's getting paid
Exactly.
for
Right.
respect.
Now
Because
She
she only,
wrote the
he
song.
wrote the song.
she only get paid from when she performing. So
Right.
if you sell out the arena, whatever the case is, you get that money from there. But as far as the song that's playing on the radio, and her songs is really in perpetuity. So that means whoever owns that song will get paid for life. So every time you hear respect, even though she sung the song, is going to whoever wrote it and
Otis
produced the record.
It just seems like, like I said, I see you got to call something, get out your way, but it just seems kind of unfair to me because, like, I think about, like, if these people didn't bring these songs to life, the difference between Luther Vandross, "A House Is Not a Home," and somebody else singing it, the difference between Whitney Houston, "I'll Always Love You," and Dolly Parton.
Well, actually, "A House Is Not a Home" is Burt Bacharach.
Right.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. I know. And so, but Whitney Houston, "I'll Always Love You," and Dolly Parton. Like, you can write an amazing song, but if the singer does not deliver,
no. But this is the thing, though,
Shell.
Shell.
Time people using your
this
music.
is the thing, yeah, because
it seems like, but you should be able to get a piece of that.
no, you only get because
Who,
The singer, the
No.
performer.
the performer could in terms of the record sale.
yeah, record sale.
But when you actually talk about where the real money
Yeah,
is,
it's
it's
the right
in the
producer.
publishing rights.
Yeah.
And every time, because look, you're not going to Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
When people come out and do Stevie Wonder, I don't know who wrote, you get back to Luther Vandross, Superstar. I don't know if Superstar was Burt Bacharach or Superstar was written by Karen and her brother, Carpenter. Okay.
Yeah.
But you had people who did the song better than the original. I mean, there are songs that Carole King wrote that people sang far better than "You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman."
Yeah.
There's Aretha did it far better than Carole King did.
And
But
also
who's getting
too,
paid? Carole King.
and also too, real quick, because I know you got to get up out of here. But what happened was record companies would trick the writers.
Oh yeah.
And like the guy that wrote all that stuff for Elvis, instead of him getting the money, the record company got the money because they tricked
And
this
probably
guy.
Colonel Parker.
So
They
somebody,
tricked this guy into a songwriter for hire. And if you songwriter for hire, you get that one-time flat fee and you out of it. And this actually happened a couple years ago to Milwaukee's own DeMonte Posey when he did Eric Benet's joint. He did a lot of stuff for Eric Benet, but however, with the record company, what the record company did, they offered him a deal. He got paid a flat fee, and that record that blew up, he didn't see nothing else from that because he got paid an upfront flat fee.
I understand that part. So somebody said, and this is for whenever, but so is Beyonce eating off her music or off the songwriters? They're confused. And somebody said Smokey gets a big check.
She's eating off of she's eating off of performances,
And
but
sales.
she got an artist writer deal too. So that's tied into her.
When she wrote it, she's getting
right. So
but that's why groups tour.
Mhm.
Because they can sell 300 million albums. The record company's getting that money.
And I'm gonna tell you this.
And unless you have something in your agreement where you're getting points on
there
that.
There you go.
You
I was
don't
about to say that.
And Conyers came up with a bill where he said all performers should get paid. So look at somebody like Ricky Dillon. Ricky Dillon has acquired 80 people.
Yeah.
So does all 80 people get paid?
And that's the crazy part. They don't get paid from the album sales, but however, he might give them something from
the touring,
the
performances.
But from all of the album sales and them singing on them, they don't get paid.
I just wanted to bring it up because, like I said, a lot of
Musicians
people
are
hit
always
me up
exploited.
like, "What's up with Boys to Men?" I'm about to boycott Boys to Men, and this had nothing to do with politics in terms of supporting somebody.
We saw their first show after the pandemic. State Fair Park.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. So anyway,
You listen to Community Voice. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank
You
you,
listen
bro.
to Caller. I'm going to grab you right after the break. We'll be right back.
Voice on WNOV 860 AM and 106.5 FM with your host, Keith Parris.
All right, welcome back to Community Voice. Caller, we thank you for your patience. Welcome to the program.
Hello, Keith. This is John. How you doing?
Hey, John, how are you, man?
Pretty good. Didn't you once say that you wish you, or if you could, you'd be a DJ just for music?
Yeah, I would, the music piece of it, but there's also the symmetry of what DJs do when they mix. You know, how you're able to continue a beat, and you can roll
that's
songs
the new
into
stuff.
it. And
That's kind of the new stuff, right?
It's always been flow because DJs were
okay.
dance folks. So how do you get people up to dance?
Oh yeah, I never thought of that. I was thinking like a jazz DJ that's just playing the music, and they used to talk in between, and you know what I mean.
Together a playlist based on, Homer and I used to have this discussion, and I told Homer that I always started off with the song. It was what Michelle was saying, how well written that song is, because then it's up to the artist to bring their thing, their flair to it. But
you mean when you're talking, when you're introducing the music, is that what you're talking
No.
about?
The quality, just how good a song it really is, and that will tell you just how lasting that song is by the number of people who would want to do. I got one that was really one that did just Michael Jackson's Human Nature.
Right.
Everybody wanted a piece of that one because that's
yeah.
just cold piece of music, So there's songs out there, and then there's the performers. But I love DJs because to be able to, how do you do that? How you slow it down? I mean, it's an amazing and DJs are producers.
Right. Well, what's the difference? I'm curious because this word producer in music has a really important meaning, whereas say in other arts it's kind of different, even though I know they're the same. But what do you mean by producer when you guys talk about music, or you as musicians and artists? I'm a musician myself, but it seems like producer in music has a special kind of meaning. What do you mean by that? The way it is used now?
Yeah. Well, how it's used now and what it is, being a producer is that you can build something from scratch. So you can take a whole melody, put it in song form, with the beat and all of the instruments around it, and just take different sounds, whether it's the piano sound, the string sound, the bass guitar, put it into one pot and create a song. And when you put it in song mode, then you have produced a song structure
Can I ask you? Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
To produce a song structure. Now, when you add the words to it, that's when it becomes a full song.
Well, it's all that where I can write a song, right? The Beatles, the making of Get Back, and they show you just everything that goes into
when you
song.
watch those films, that's right.
And you see how you layer it, and then
very deep.
The Motown documentary they did on Showtime, where they showed how Marvin Gaye put together what's going on.
Yeah.
Start off with a vocal track. You might start off with a drum. Because I like Barbra Streisand and Frank Sinatra, who would perform in front of an orchestra. That is not how it's done. It's piecemeal, and it's producer who takes all those pieces and then put it together. Because you have the basic song, right?
Right.
And then you will go in. I think one of the great producers was Luther Vandross. He never gets credit for that. Certainly his work with David Bowie.
Michael Jackson.
Well, obviously Quincy Jones.
Quincy Jones especially.
Quincy Jones.
My God.
Yeah, because Quincy Jones would take what Michael Jackson would do with his mouth and give it to him, and Quincy Jones would produce that feel, that sound that Michael Jackson is hearing in your head.
Michelle was talking about Angela Bofield, and one of her producers was Narada Michael Walton, who's a great percussionist.
Jazz guy.
He started off with the Maharishi, because he was really deep
it was John McLaughlin and those guys.
Yep.
Wow. You're really on top of stuff, Keith.
What's the guy's name that was Luther Vandross' music director? Now, he was the genius behind Luther, a lot of what he did.
Well, I'll give you another name.
You know who I'm talking about, Jermaine?
I'm trying to think of his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he's
Abernathy.
Abernathy.
Herb Adderley Jr.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. But
Hey.
let me say Duke Ellington.
Oh,
And everyone
Yes.
talks about Duke Ellington, but it
he
was actually
he
Billy
super.
Strayhorn
that,
Yes.
who wrote and produced
And
a
in
lot of
those
that
days-
music.
Oh,
And those-
yeah.
In those days, guys like Ellington, he's known as an arranger. You know, his piano playing was beautiful and pretty, but he would get his orchestra together, like Count Basie, and these guys would bring all these geniuses together, and they were like the maestro.
Oh
and,
yeah, I
and
mean
all
you,
these
you
artists were
and sometimes
Davis.
producers are not usually the most gifted.
He said a
Musician.
bad
yeah,
word
like
just
Duke
then.
Ellington
What's
was
that?
He
pretty.
said a
Count
bad
Basie was
dude
pretty.
just then. The maestro. Barry.
Right.
Oh, Barry White. Yeah, Barry White
Barry
had.
was-
But Barry White, and I don't know if Barry White, we should just look it up, was trained in orchestra.
I think he was because he was directing.
Yeah, where he conducts an
Yeah.
orchestra. But Michelle interviewed Patrice Rushen,
Oh,
and Patrice
what a
Rushen talked
beautiful-
about her
oh, my
going
Lord,
back
is
to
she
school to
beautiful.
learn orchestration so you can build the charts.
yeah.
When you look
What a
at those
gifted-
award
She's
shows,
so gifted.
yeah, like last
So
night,
gifted.
whoever was the musical director for the Saturday Night Live, man, that is great. If you haven't seen it, y'all
That
go
Paul
see it.
guy.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I
that was a
mean,
different guy.
it started with Paul Schaefer. David Sanborn has been a musical director there.
Another really big star.
Yeah, I mean, so but
Superstar.
the ability to be able to pull all that together, to be
Yes.
able to do the charts for all the
Remember-
various musicians, strings,
Yeah.
horns, percussions, vocals,
Chic.
and be able to
Like
balance
Chic
that.
with the two guys for Chic, they were producing Sister Sledge and stuff. They were geniuses too.
Sure was.
the two
Yeah,
guys.
well, I think
Um,
in terms of that particular period, Niles Rodgers.
Now,
Niall
Niles
Rodgers and
Rodgers.
Bernard Edwards, right?
Yeah.
Niall Rodgers and Bernard Edwards.
Bernard Edwards, but he was a bass player.
One
And
of them,
again,
with
watch the
guitar,
slide
other guy with the bass.
because they talk about Larry Graham and how he got to a lot of people play that Larry Graham style on the bass where he's boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom.
Yeah,
He
the
said that
thumping
he
funk.
did that as a drum beat.
Yeah, because so he can keep. the
Yeah,
rhythm.
so he keep the rhythm, and
Right.
so he said, I didn't know if it would take off like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's watching, and again, the Luther Vandross. Watch that. You get a chance to hear Nate Adderley Jr. You also get a chance to hear my
Nat
boy.
Adderley? You
Yeah.
said Junior? Like he
Junior.
had a son?
Yep.
The famous Nat
Yeah.
Adderley? Okay, I guess so. I
Right,
didn't know
Nate
much
Adderley
about him.
Jr. And who's my guy, the bass player? Marcus Miller.
Oh yeah,
Another
Marcus
jazz
Miller.
guy. Right.
Marcus
big jazz
Miller,
guy.
truth.
And I went to
I-
see Michelle,
Indio Cello.
and you know what? She won a Grammy this
Mm.
year. She won a Grammy. Oh, dude.
Who are you talking about? Who are you talking
Michelle,
about?
Indio Cello.
bass player.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Oh, okay.
What a great show.
Wow.
Oh man, but yeah, she won a
You-
Grammy.
Remember the guitar player was Taste the Honey, the female guitar player. And I think she died, and her guitar was so excellent, psychedelic jazz style. Really beautiful. Amazing. So underrated.
Yeah, I think
Remember her?
it was funny. I thought it was Jimi Hendrix that really did that psychedelic rock,
Yeah.
but they're giving
Yeah.
a lot of credit to Sly in terms
Yeah.
of what they did.
You know, when you're talking about how an artist can do somebody else's song better, and if you listen to All Along the Watchtower, which is actually written by Bob Dylan, and he does it in his kind of twangy, folksy kind of country style, kind of boring, kind of in its music. But Jimi Hendrix did his studio version, and I think it's his best thing. It's just so well produced. You talk about production, and it's pretty. It's pretty. There's this thing about pretty music versus hard music. Like you wouldn't call James Brown pretty, but you'd call Taste the Honey pretty. Or like you said, Ashford and Simpson would be pretty, right? Whereas James Brown would be funky and hard and tough. Would
Right.
I be right? You think?
Yeah, and I think Ashford and Simpson, Holland Dozier, Holland.
Yeah,
Is it
right.
two Doziers,
Yeah,
one Holland, or two
right.
Hollands, one Dozier?
I
And then
never do.
someone, because I
I
love
never
love
do.
songs, Tom Bell and Linda Creed.
Who is it?
Linda Creed. Bet you by golly, wow. That's Linda Creed.
Oh,
Yeah, Stylistics, Delphonics.
Yeah,
But
that's
here's this
gospel.
this Jewish woman from Philadelphia, and wrote some of the seminal I mean, for anyway, again, me and Michelle was talking about this, and I certainly love The Quiet Storm. I just love, we got romance music after 7, and to hear
Yeah, a
great
lot of
love
the Jewish guys
songs.
were in there.
And but yeah, man.
Ton of Jewish writers with that romantic stuff.
Oh
songs
yeah,
and
well,
like
Carole
Gershwin and
King,
and Gershwin, the old Gershwin stuff, became
Bob
standards. They call
Dylan.
them jazz standards. That's right. That's right. I forgot about him. At this moment, mentioned him.
Which is and I mean, great songwriters are great songwriters.
Right.
And obviously your ethnicity will impact, because culture impacts a lot
Right.
of where we are, and our ethnicity is tied up in culture. Culture is tied up in our
Right.
ethnicity. So, but yeah, I love a great songwriter, man. If you got David Foster. David Foster, here's a guy who he gives credit to Maurice White, because Bill Champlin wrote After the Love Is Gone. And that put that really put David Foster on the map as he also did Ring My Bell.
Oh wow.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Let me ask you about Ring My Bell. You know when you had that little pew, pew?
Yeah.
It kind of bugs me, but I love her voice. When she sings the actual verse,
but that's
I think
disco.
it's really confusing.
That was
I understand.
yeah, be able to put.
But as far as a soul singer, she actually did a nice verse on that song. Her actual singing was really nice. It's just that little pew thing kind of bugged me.
Yeah,
but I love her singing.
That's actually an electric drum sound.
Yeah,
back there, it was heavy in the 70s and 80s. So it's just that one tone that doo. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Oh, that's one of the great disco songs.
Yeah.
Though, man. You can rock on that one.
Yeah, and her voice was excellent. She had really soul.
She had a churchy voice to me.
Yep.
Well, when she sang the verse, it was really cool. The actual verse, like where you're singing what is it called? The verse where you're actually singing the poetry, not the chorus, I guess you call it. But her actual verse was really nice, like a traditional soul song. Really cool. I have a question politically.
Okay, if we have to.
Well, just when they were talking about earlier the firings, I had to look it up, like I said last week. And there's this thing called attrition, and then the idea of the early retirement where you get your package. Then I had to look it up, and he reversed the thing about the nuclear stuff. The rest of it, from what I understood, it actually looked it up, and Bill Clinton started a process where he started the attrition, where you let people retire either naturally when they're ready, or you offer them a package, and then you don't hire a new one to replace it, and then you tighten up the budget and you try to consolidate departments and like that. Am I making sense, sort of?
No, I worked in government. I know that's how it works.
Oh, okay. So, but I did make sense in the way I described it.
No, John,
okay,
you made no sense. I'm just kidding, John. I'm just kidding.
No, that's all right. No, I'm trying to make sure because you've worked in government. I forgot about that. So that's the idea now. And they said that it started with Clinton. I looked it up, and he did. And I was wondering what exactly he did, because he is known to be a kind of a conservative liberal, semi-conservative liberal. And he did cut the budget a little bit with the Newt Gingrich group, so they did have even though they wrestled in public, they actually harmonized in their actual action.
Well, they did
to
something.
Some degree. Would you agree?
Yeah, they also did something that prior to 1995, AIDS for families with dependent children was an entitlement, which meant that if people are eligible, the government has a responsibility to do benefits for everybody who's eligible. When they signed the Welfare Reform Act, which created temporary assistance for needy families, it is no longer an entitlement, which means you can deny people. And I only say that to say that change he made. But most governments, when they're doing their budget, they will always take into account attrition, people who are going to be separated, people who can retire. And then you have to figure out then, because you have something called FTEs, which are full-time employment, right? Those number of positions, you cut them in half. You can have the budget where you budgeted for X number of positions, right? But then what you'll do is you don't fill the positions, right? Or you can do where in certain age where instead of police, usually you'll see this in law enforcement, where you're not hiring more cops, you pay more overtime, right? So what they're
Why
doing?
did they do that?
Well, because
do that
it's
if you're
cheaper to
paying
do
more
it.
per
It's
person?
cheaper. It's cheaper to do it that way as opposed to hiring another person, because a full-time employment or a full-time employee gets benefits.
Oh,
Benefits.
yeah.
You get benefits. So if I'm
Yeah.
just paying
Yeah.
out of that pot, where I'm just doing the
Yes.
salary piece of
Yes.
it,
Because it's already worked in, right?
right? And I
get you.
think that
Yeah.
there's probably some type of formulation they use at how much of that money you're going to use. But then
Right.
then it has an impact on a governmental level. It has impact then on the pension, because most governmental agencies will take your highest grossing year and or years to determine what your pension payment will be. So if you're working,
Right.
and I know that at the county I don't know if there was a lawsuit where they were trying to not let people use overtime as part of that whole aggregate salary. So then the pension costs would go up, because obviously you make more money, you get a bigger pension. And so that's why you see where you have fire and police where they work so much overtime. I'll give you another group of bus drivers work so much overtime that because then you don't fill another position, because when you fill another position, that's it. Now, the other thing is who's losing their jobs. Well, it's probationary employees, right? And you have
right now or anytime? You mean right now or anytime?
I'm talking about right now, what you're saying they're doing, the people that they're letting go are either at-will employees or probationary employees, right?
Right.
So if you're on your probation, you could be separated for any reason. I don't like what you wore today, right? And you go like, oh, okay. No, seriously. I mean, it gets that simple.
No, I get you.
But then the question that you have,
if you're over 50 years, you've been there for 20 years, then they give you the option of retiring if you've been there, whatever, 20, 25, or 30 years.
Yeah, but that option was always on the table. So, I mean, it wasn't, that was the issue with McQuaid, the former, I don't know if he's FBI director, and wherever he was working, assistant FBI director, and they were trying to terminate him where he would not get his pension. Because if you're terminated, you forfeit, a lot of government agencies, you forfeit your pension. Like on the county and city level, you have a person who's accused of wrongdoing, and what they will do is, if the case is strong enough, the union is going to advise them, you need to resign. Because if you resign, they can't touch your pension. If you get fired, you lose your pension. So
interesting.
So I mean, there's a lot the government does in terms of their tricky accounting and how you get around it. But everyone knows now. It's really interesting, though. It seems like on the federal level, where in private sector and other groups, the highest cost of doing business is personnel. On the government level, it really isn't. The highest cost is paying out the benefits, the contracts. If you look at the Defense Department, one of the things that you will see is, and I have to go and look at the budget, how much is actually personnel and how much of it is material. And when you look at it, material and then contracts for materials, it makes up a bigger portion. Where if you look at the Department of Health and Human Services, it's what they're paying out, right? It's the Medicare, it's the Medicaid, it's the TANF.
So what do you think of that? Do you think they should be getting actual cash or something like a cash equivalent instead of what you just said, where the majority is?
Well, it defeats the purpose. Because if you're paying those people to the end of the fiscal year, which would be September 30th, you can't fill that position because there's somebody already in that position technically. So if they're saying that they're going to shrink government, you didn't really shrink government other than those folks who you had to let go. Probationary employees, they let go. You get no one. But people who took that buyout technically will be on the payroll. And so that position is still considered filled.
Right, correct.
So
then when they give you the option, like in the theory of paying you a pension instead of paying you the extra cash that would be the pension equivalent, couldn't they do it that way?
Well, your pension is separate. Your pension is separate.
I understand. That's what I'm saying. On a pure economic basis, would you think that it might be actually better for society, and including the employee and the employer on a private sector or government, to just give them the financial equivalent of the future?
Well, that's what people are doing now, where you don't see fixed funds or fixed pensions like you see with the county, like you see with the state, like you see with the city. Big corporations have gotten away from those pension funds, where now you're kind of responsible for your own retirement.
And they can up the wages, they can up the salary in the temporary, like right now. Do you think that's good? Or
well, I think you have to differentiate between the rationales for pension privately and publicly. If you work for the government, chances are you're going to be paid less than a person doing equivalent work in the private sector. So what government always said was, well, you know what? We'll just invest in your pension, in your retirement.
Well, couldn't they just pay you more short term while you're there, and then that way?
That's what happens in the private sector. But for me, I'm glad that they had a pension, because for a lot of people, let's say you take all that money up front, what happens when you turn 62, 65, you want to retire? You know, you don't have that pension. You know, so I think.
So what if you invested it yourself? If they gave you the equivalent of the pension as of right now, exactly what they're paying you. I've had a job where they gave me a pension. So what if they gave you that extra money, instead of putting it in a pension, give it to you as cash, and then it's up to you to think with your own brain?
I think that you see that more.
Be a nasty guy or anything.
No, I think you see that more. But here's the problem. There's a little bit more stability when you look at, like, for example, they say that the state of Wisconsin's retirement system is the best in the country in terms of government-run retirement systems, right? Okay. It's one of the best, how well they do in terms of their investment. I know.
You mean the actual investment is better?
No, just the overall how it's managed, because it is investment, and that's because where, you know, the progressive in me might have a problem with a particular industry, but I am still connected because I don't know if my pension fund is investing in those problematic industries that I might have, right? So
because they invest in the whole giant market for stability.
Right. They're doing the best. They're trying, that pension is trying to make money. You know, it needs to make money. And so
stability by diversification.
Right. And what you're able to go
thousands
in.
And thousands
so I'm sure that in some type of way, there is some petroleum concerns
something
that's
not particularly of your taste.
Well, you know, just only because of what petroleum is doing to the planet. But at the same time, here it goes. And that's why, what did Obama say? There are no clean hands. That a lot of times we are as involved in these things more than we kind of realize in terms of. But I think in the private sector, you might have got your money up front. A lot of my friends work, you know, in insurance companies. They got their money up front, but then they can invest. There was a little bit more certainty I had, even though I might defer income in the short term. In the long term, I have a pension. So
you think it's because because society has gotten an idea that people can't think for themselves, or that we will just we'll be consumers now, and we won't be thinking long term. Is that the rationale, do you think?
No, I just think that it was always one of those things that, look, we're going to make an investment. You're working for us now. Not only will we compensate you now, and probably not what you get again if you're in the private sector, but then when I look at long term, when I look at that whole idea of a government pension, it means a lot. Social Security is basically a government guaranteed pension. With people, and so when you heard it in the Bush administration, where they were talking about, well, we need to get rid of Social Security and let people invest their money.
Proportion.
Yeah, and then now you really at the, you know, it is the, what's the word I want to say, that now it based on the market, and we know the markets go up and down. You can have a meltdown like you had in 2008, right? All those people who invested and all those pensions, they lost money. But then you could have where the market takes off.
To take it out today, if you take it out today and it went down yesterday, if it's long run, then it would be like you said earlier, it's diversified, and then you're looking at the long run. But yeah, if you take it out today and it just went down, then you're going to lose.
Oh yeah, and look, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm institutionalized. I like the idea my check is coming every 2 weeks, right? You know, I mean, now for other people, they're risk takers. You know, you get out, you got the hustle, and you can do very well.
Safe way. I'm sorry. What you said earlier, diversify and keep it for the long run, and you don't try to play the game of the hustle, and you just keep it and diversify it and keep it there. Then it's safer.
I think the other piece of it was I didn't have access to my pension until I was able to retire. So as opposed to, you know, you have insurance policies where, you know, you can borrow against the policy. But then in the long run, what happens. And again, because of the volatility of the markets, you know, thank God for Social Security. Appreciate you, John.
All righty. Thank you. Have fun.
All right, man. Hey, you're listening to Community Voice. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
You're inside Community Voice on WNOV 860 AM and 106.5 FM with your host, Keith Parris.
Ouch.
Got that right on camera too. Go back and watch that one.
Lawyer.
Right. Ouch.
Oh my God. Workplace injuries.
Yeah.
We need to talk about that. Anyway, we're joined in the studio up by Mr. MAUDWELLA KIRKENDOLL. He's the Chief Operating Officer there at Community Advocates. And as we always say that time of year, from periodically we come in and talk about the Energy Assistance Program. So welcome back, man.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. I guess today is an appropriate day to talk about energy assistance, huh?
Oh yeah, definitely. We hope that this cold weather doesn't come, and it eventually it does, and we're here. And it is that time of the year where we can provide some assistance to families and individuals that are in need.
So at this point, we're in the moratorium where you cannot shut off energy. But what about the people who had their energy shut off prior to?
Everyone should be restored. So
Okay.
regardless if you had a bill or not, if you were behind, we Energies would have restored your service by now.
So when we talk about the Energy Assistance Program, what are we talking about in terms of for people, our listening audience?
Yeah, so I just want to state that the program is administered by the state of Wisconsin. Community Advocates is one of two vendors. It's us and UMOS. And essentially what we do is provide a one-time payment towards your utility bill, whether you have an arrear or your current. You essentially would just get a credit, but we can provide that one-time assistance, and that allows for other services once you're eligible for energy assistance.
So you say other services. What would those other services be?
Like today, this is a perfect example of the weather gets a little cold, your furnace is overworking, and it may stop working. We could provide free furnace repair and replacement services for those who are household owners, and for tenants where the landlord's on the property and they're energy eligible.
Do we see? I guess this is a softball lob. Do we see a lot of need for that?
We definitely see a lot of need. Elderly who may have been in their homes for sometimes on a fixed income. Trying to get a $4,000 to $6,000 repair on a furnace or replacement of a furnace is almost impossible. So we are definitely grateful that we're able to provide that assistance to individuals, as well as space heaters in the meantime where they're going through the process.
So when you say would let's say I just have a old furnace now and it's just not going to work anymore, would you replace that furnace?
If it's not working, we will either repair or replace it. If the cost to repair it exceeds a certain amount, we're going to just simply replace that furnace.
Yeah, we had an older furnace, and I got to the point, guys, like, dude, the pieces.
Yeah,
you better off. And the other thing is the long-term energy savings you have with a more efficient furnace.
Correct. I mean, typically we're going from an 80% furnace, 80% efficient furnace to like a 92 or 96%, which is a huge difference. I mean, you can use a smaller furnace essentially, which again uses a lot less gas and burns a little differently. So you're saving a lot of money in that aspect.
Are you also, if you're eligible for energy assistance, there is insulation, sir?
Correct. So once you're eligible for energy assistance, you're eligible, and there's a lottery system where they pick the homes, but you're eligible for weatherization services, which includes things like insulation in the homes. You're looking at faucets, shower heads. I'm just kind of going through and like finding out where there's air infiltration and addressing those issues. They do not, and I know one of the questions that comes up often is like, do they replace windows? They do not replace windows as part of this process.
I didn't realize this until after a couple of years ago, they had the major snowstorm and the blackout down in Texas.
Oh yeah.
And how our homes are designed very differently. In the South, homes are designed so heat can escape. Mm-hmm. Where we design our homes here where we keep as much heat in the house as possible.
Correct.
So insulation becomes really important in terms of, the heat that's escaping, which means that now you have the furnace is working.
Exactly.
In order to heat the house.
Yeah. You're talking about, insulation, but you're also talking about weather stripping. There's a variety of things, plastic on the windows. We provide that. So we actually, if anybody is interested in that, they can simply walk into our office downtown, 728 North James Lavelle, and get free insulation packet kits. So we have high efficiency, energy efficient bulbs, plastic, little night lights and things of that nature. So you can walk down and walk to the front desk and get those free of charge.
Who's eligible for energy assistance?
It's interesting. I mean, I think people are afraid to even look into it because they assume they're not eligible because of income, but like here, the income guidelines are relatively high for energy assistance. To give you an example, a family of two can make almost $50,000 and still be eligible for energy assistance. One of the things, they may not get as much as one with lower income, but they will be eligible and then provide it, extends the offer, the invitation to kind of get those other services. One of the other things that we haven't talked about, which is fairly new, is we actually repair plumbing now. And so if they're leaking faucets, if you have pipes that are old that are leaking, toilets that are running, or things of that nature, if you're energy eligible, we can do those things also free of charge.
Well, that's interesting. So what would be the impact on, let's say, well, if it's your hot water running, then it's being heated by the hot water
Correct.
heater, right?
Correct.
So why is that, I guess, important in terms of that water usage?
Yeah, I mean, we just, in terms of water usage, we're still thinking about conservation, energy savings. I mean, there's pumps going when there's water running, really just trying to make sure that we are using as less energy and resources as possible. So again, leaking water also causes other issues within a property. I mean, it could damage the furnace, can damage the water heater, things of that nature. So we just want to make sure we're addressing as many issues as possible when we go into the home.
One of the things that's come up from time to time is that universe or pool of people who might be eligible, many of them don't take advantage of it.
Correct. Yeah, that we've done a little research each year, and it's over 50% of the households in Milwaukee that are eligible don't apply. And so we make a concerted effort to get out in the community, whether it be daycare, childcare centers, schools, you name it. We're out there trying to promote energy assistance for individuals.
Oh, that's interesting. I just got a text message from someone, and they wanted to know if someone is renting from them, are they eligible then for that insulation?
If they're renting the property, if they're energy eligible, yes.
Okay, so it would be the
tenant,
person,
if the tenant is energy eligible, yes.
Okay,
correct.
So an elderly individual,
correct,
who's renting would be eligible.
Correct.
How does that work? Is there a way that?
Yeah, so that, again, everyone's not going to be eligible just simply because of the cost. So what we typically do is if someone expresses interest in energy weatherization, we get their information, make sure they've completed the energy application, and then we make that referral over to one of the two weatherization agencies, whether it be Partners or La Casa, and then they do an assessment to determine whether or not that home is eligible for weatherization. Because there's some other things they have to do in terms of like evaluating the actual property.
Would the size of the house have impact on that?
That has impact on like the amount of energy assistance you get, and also in terms of them selecting a home, they do look at things like that to determine whether or not it's going to be cost efficient. Like a smaller home, if you're going to be putting $30,000-$40,000 in, it probably doesn't make sense.
How much?
$30,000 or $40,000. I mean, they're putting a lot of money into these homes to create that weatherization, sealing those homes so that they're not losing a lot of energy. So it could be costly.
And I'm sitting up here thinking like, and I'm locked into what a grant would look like, but I never thought about the that if you're doing a furnace.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you look at a furnace, the cost could be anywhere between $6,000 to $8,000. A boiler can be upward near $12,000. There's a lot of money. I mean, again, you're simply spending 15 to 20 minutes doing the application makes you eligible for all these other services. And you could essentially walk away with $12,000 to $15,000 worth of services by spending 15 to 20 minutes doing that application.
If people would want to apply, how do they apply?
Yep, there's a couple ways you can apply. You can call our main number, which is 414-270-4653, or you can go to our website, which is keepwarmmke.org.
And again, that's by phone or in person?
We will do everything by phone, and we try to make it as simple as possible for individuals, so you don't have to take off work. You can take your 15-minute work break and get your energy assistance done.
Is there a verification in terms of income and other things? And then how is that done?
Correct. So we can do that simply either by text message. You can text a picture of your income. You can email it to us. Again, some people want to just drop their stuff off. So really, we provide any method possible that's convenient for the customer to get that done.
Is there a end date on this, or is this year round?
So the program, we talk about that being like a 9-month program, but energy assistance really, the weatherization program, energy assistance, really a year-round program. Typically, we stop taking energy assistance applications May 15th, but we can process through June 15th. People don't know that. The other thing is, even if it's after June 15th, if you come in, we can do an energy application. You won't get a benefit for energy, but you can get a crisis benefit. And so we encourage people, it's year-round. weatherization is happening year round. Plumbing repairs are happening year round. Weatherization, furniture, all those things are happening year round. So
again, that number
414-270-4653.
is there a website?
Website is keepwarmmke.org.
And you all have a QR code?
We have a QR code as well.
Excellent, man. Appreciate you, man. Anything
Appreciate
else?
the opportunity. No, I appreciate the opportunity. I encourage people to come in. I mean, the wait times are low. If you come in April, it's going to look a little different. So we're encouraging people to come in now.
Mr. MAUDWELLA KIRKENDOLL, the Chief Operating Officer there, Community Advocates, in talking about energy assistance and how we should take advantage of it if we're eligible. Again, that phone number?
414-270-4653.
All right, you're listening to Community Voice. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Community Voice on WNOV 860 AM and 106.5 FM with your host, Keith Parris.
All right, welcome back to Community Voice. Caller, welcome to the program.
Hey, Keith.
Yay.
Hey, this Mississippi, man.
What up, Mississippi?
Yeah, you tell that dude to count them numbers in. Don't tell him to put it like a computer like his man. Everybody ain't got his man to read it real fast. Tell him to count them numbers real slow with somebody can get it like me.
All right, let me try it.
Count them, because I ain't got my computer on my head like y'all got it on y'all.
All right, you got pen and paper?
I got a pen and paper.
All right, let me do it. Now I'm from Tennessee, so it might go a little fast.
Go
No, it's
smooth.
414-270-4653.
4653.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got you now. Y'all going too fast up in there. I think y'all on the computer yourself.
Yeah, and it's amazing, man, because part of, they talk about muscle memory, and I've lost muscle memory, but I used to be a person who took applications. So you had to write down numbers, and I got pretty quick with it because I'm not very good when it comes to numbers. But yeah, I got quick where you can go in and make sure. And it's really amazing. I tell people I'm a Babylonian, right? That in terms of Babylonians were meticulous record keepers, and the fact that my mama was a clerk, and then I become a clerk basically, where you go in and you just take numbers and write down numbers and feed the numbers in. But if you put a number in wrong, you could throw off a person's eligibility. I mean, that could be life and death. And so you have to be a little bit more mindful, when you put the money in. People say that, and I'm not. Yes, I am. People say that, man, Keith, man, you do good interviews. And I said, well, let me tell you, that was my job. I used to take applications. I asked questions for a living, and so, how do you get the most accurate information to make a determination on a person's, eligibility, how we ask questions and what we're listening for, especially when you get into things that are,
when you ask the same question a different way and see if you get a different answer.
We did that. The work that I did with the Edison Research Group, when you do those exit surveys, you'll find that, because I guess people who do research and who does kind of like opinion surveys understand, depending on the question, people might lie to you the first time.
Right.
So then you ask that question a different way.
I did it in my job interviews.
Hello.
When I would interview people.
But hello, Keith.
Yep.
See, when I was working on a job, that's what I used to deal with, a lot of numbers. I used to have a lot of numbers in my head like that, because I was working in a foundry and I used to sit up about 70-some guys a night. And that man, over a period of time, you wear your brains out trying to remember all them numbers.
Yep.
It come like an old timey,
When Richard Pryor was talking about the numbers guy, he didn't need pencil on paper.
So that's what I have to do. I was working out there. So I was working at International Harvest and coming out in Walker Show out there. They ain't no longer out there. They done tore that big old plant down out there.
What's funny, man? I don't understand how the numbers guys did it without writing it down.
You need no paper trail, man. You don't need no paper trail.
I understand the whole piece of it.
Let me tell you something.
To be able to have that level of memory?
When I was going to school, even though I didn't, I graduated, but I didn't get a diploma. I got a diploma after I got a diploma. So when I did receive my diploma, they kicked me out of school. So I didn't have nothing to prove that I had a diploma when I got here. So you got to have a diploma sometimes to show that you was finished high school. So they be asking me all the time.
You said diploma.
I said, where's my? They said, where your diploma there? I said, I ain't got there. I said, they give me one, so you got to have it. So I was mailed back to my high school and see that I got a diploma. So every time I went out, they wouldn't give me one. So they said I was so bad I didn't deserve them no way. So what the difference? So when I did get one. Man, I lost it.
Yeah, now there are people who matriculated with me in higher education that graduated magna cum laude and cum laude, and I graduated thank you laude.
Thank you, laude.
They never accused me of being a student. That accusation was never flung my way.
Well, I'll tell you what, I had 5 sisters and 7 brothers. And all of them is really, really smart. I got to give credit to credit due. All of them really smart, but one, that was me. I
I know that
I
feeling.
just see myself going to school and college like they did to get the education. But as I got older, I started seeing. I said I should have did what they did. Stay in school, got my own naughty head. You down school, out of school down there, you're fighting in trouble and all that.
Yeah, you should have got your diploma.
Anyway, I should have got my diploma. My teacher, but the principal, he must kick me out of school from saying I don't deserve the diploma, which I didn't. I didn't learn that no way. So, how many people you know? I'm telling you too. How many people you know, Keith, went to school? Listen to me, good. Went to school, high school, claimed they finished high school, and they never had a diploma, never had no books or nothing in their hand going to school. But I was going to school. Every time they look around, they was passing me up with someone else. Hey, you supposed to get in this class. I ain't had no books or nothing, no education or nothing like that. They were just passing me along because I was famous.
Well, you talking to appreciate you, man. You talking to a guy that flunked kindergarten. So, when
it comes to ABCs, I already read numbers, and I already read numbers. That's how I spell about ABCs.
That's true. Thank you, Jerry Goins.
All right,
all right, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mississippi.
Thanks. Yeah, man. And so I want for all you young people out there, just when it started off wrong, where you start is not always where you finish. But yes, I did. I was held back a semester. When I was in kindergarten.
He wouldn't take naps like the rest of them.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how
did you know that?
How do you flunk kindergarten? That's like, that's like me. I failed gym class. So for my senior year, I had 2 classes. I had study hall and gym. But I failed gym.
I'm gonna tell you where I aced though.
What was that?
Oh man, lunch.
Oh yes, A, B, and C lunch.
Him and Byron aced lunch.
A, B, and C lunch.
And at Parkman, we had 3 lunch hours.
Yeah.
We had 3 lunch hours. Yeah. Don't get me started when I was a 9th grade and I was lunchroom monitor.
Oh man.
Oh dude, double lunch.
Yeah.
I get double lunch because I get a free ticket for lunch.
I remember them days.
Oh man, and everybody know the biggest double lunch day in MBS was what day?
Lasagna?
No.
Cheeseburgers?
No.
Mock chicken legs.
Mock chicken legs.
Yeah.
All right, you listen to my wife hates me telling me, dude, you had to be there to experience it, man.
Yeah, that mock chicken leg was a bad. Shut your mouth.
Or that pizza, Doc. That pizza they used to have.
Yeah, pizza
Oh
day.
my God, yeah.
Cheeseburgers when they had the cheeseburgers.
Yeah, man, it was real meat.
Yeah, and we ain't gonna even talk about those peanut butter bars.
Oh my God!
Please.
Come on,
talk about the peanut butter bars.
Come on, Jack.
That song about peanut butter,
man.
You're listening to the Movie Boys Call. I'm gonna get you right after the break. We'll be right back.
Keith, before you go, just quick question.
Yes, sir.
So what happened to all of those folks? Where were they with the peanut allergies back then?
Good question.
Man, yeah, that's a good one.
Maybe they died. We didn't know.
Oh, jeez.
Thought they were skipping school. Who knows? It was a peanut allergy.
All right.
Took them out. We'll be right back.
WNOV 860 AM and 106.5 FM with your host, Keith Parris.
I know we got some political things with him, man, but that catfish be crack. And that whiting?
Man, that's octopus, man.
See, come on, brothers.
That's gold meat, man. That's baby seal.
Man,
Stop it,
boy,
stop
I
it,
tell you, man,
stop it.
once they put your name out there in the community, boy,
It's over.
It's over, man.
It's
Once they put it out there.
I tell you what, though, Jermaine, myself, and Byron, we took a ride up Capitol Drive, the old Captain D's over there. Toya's.
Yeah, Toya's Kitchen.
Toya's Kitchen, man.
Yeah, it was good, man.
Got the catfish steaks, man, and meaty,
I'll tell
hearty.
you, and I
good.
haven't had it, but it looks so good. And Keon swear by it, so it must be good. When the Cogs do their fish fries.
Oh, I've never had it.
Dude.
Who's the Cogs?
Beth Cogs.
Oh, you mean the family?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and they do. Oh my God. And I know Keon swore by it. That's why I like when I'm with the good folks there at Wisconsin Black Chamber of Commerce, you know, I asked Ruben, what's good? Ruben never wrong, man. We were down at Mobay's, which is a Jamaican cafe, and I think he's down in Walker's Point. They got some meatballs there, dude. Me and Michelle love the Rasta pasta from Pepper Pot.
Yeah.
You know, I was going to try it, but they told me that it's spicy.
It's spicy, but it's
Man, I go down and I get the salmon sandwiches from Pepper Pot.
Oh, he come back with that.
Listen
that,
here,
that
Jack.
salmon burger.
Oh,
you know why I
my
don't do
God.
salmon anymore?
Why?
Not that I was a big fan, but you know how you get sick and anything that you eat during that time you associate.
Yeah, you blame it on that.
Man, I had COVID. It wasn't bad, and it seemed like, and I was doing salmon for my mom, and I was doing it, and I had some smoked salmon. I haven't eaten salmon since.
How do you prepare it?
Oh, you know, just make it. But it didn't really matter. I associated with you know, with COVID.
Yeah.
I had another thing. I don't eat German chocolate cake because when I was little, I had the flu. And I remember my mama had this big German chocolate cake, and every time I saw it, every time I smelled it, I just throw up, man. It was just like, so even today, shout out to my good friend Darlene McGowan, though. Her mama, Sister McGowan, used to make these. Now, that was the only German chocolate cake I ate. McGowan. Oh my God, that German chocolate cake was
love
off.
German chocolate,
man.
Because we were just talking about that was the name of the restaurant. It was on the bayou, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
And McGowie had it. Friend of mine.
Yeah.
One of the Masonic brothers.
So man, good food out there. But let me do this. I started off and we never.
Who's got the best in the city though? Let's just put it out there.
Well, best what?
Best what?
Best catfish. Best in the city. Who would it be?
What,
I
you
don't
talking
know.
about now?
I don't know if it's the same people,
Now, yeah.
but the people that own the bayou.
Oh, they don't own it no more.
Yeah, but great catfish down there.
Yeah, you
They're
talking about
great
Greg?
catfish. Yeah, that was great
Hmm.
catfish.
I know the best I ever had, and we spoke to it was just Stacy's.
Yeah, man.
Now I don't know where
Stacy's
they
was.
went, who got the recipe, but bring that back.
Man, yeah, I mean, for that little small joint that was on King Drive,
Man,
boy,
they
they got
cracked
a lot of
down there,
business, man.
But you know, it and this is the thing a lot of times with restaurants in our community, it becomes tough because the overhead on food, and where if you have a bar, you know,
Bar restaurant.
Yeah, bars will, the money that you might lose or might not make in food, you making up in the bar, right? And so it makes it, you know, like I say, your margins.
Some of the highest profit margins you'll see is in food.
Well, here's the difference, though. When you look at what it costs to produce food, is greater than what it costs for you to pour a drink, right? Because with the food, you got the energy, you got the ingredients, you got the people who are making the food. That's all factored into the cost. Where if you just got the bartender in the bottle.
No, not true.
What do you mean?
Still got the same energy, right? If it's in a building.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, energy
Still paying
is I'm
somebody to
using a
pour it.
stove, right?
Yeah.
Which is a different energy cost than just heating the building.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it just costs more to
It's
produce
small
food.
things that we don't think about. I mean, just to run that ice machine 365 days a year, the compressors for all of the beer and the different other things that you're serving, all of that has to be factored in.
Yeah, but still, you if you look at what it is to go in and cook a meal, the cost of cooking a meal is greater than the cost of pouring a drink.
Okay, I'm gonna let you win that one, but I bid it.
Well, that's that. You know, if you look at now, there was a place like, and you know they're out of business now. Great food. Most people missed it was Victor's.
Mm-hmm.
Because when most people in Victor's, they're not in there eating, they're in there drinking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so, but it was a great restaurant
Victor's was down
on Van Buren.
Yeah. Okay, that's a
Great, man. I mean, seafood,
yeah.
their fish fry.
Yeah.
Oh man, you know, I mean, but you know, again, that's the cost, man. If you haven't figured out a way to be very efficient, one of the reasons why JJ's is able to charge the prices that they charge is they're part of a syndicate, right? Yeah. And what I mean by that is, so they buy their food, they pool, got one big pool where you go and buy fish, so you buy it in a volume, right? Mm-hmm. And you buy it at a wholesale, so then you get it cheaper than maybe Keith and Jermaine's little fish snack because it's just us, right? Where so that has been, and you know, you give credit to the Palestinians because they're the people who primarily run JJ's. That you're able to go in. Back in the day, here's a little bit of Black history. Back in the day, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad had worked out a deal with, I want to say, Libya, where they would get whiting. The whiting AG, and whiting is great fish, right?
It is.
And they were able to work it out. So in their restaurants in Chicago, I think it was the Salam restaurant. We had here where I don't know if we had a restaurant. I know the Hassans had the fish place over on King Drive in Burleigh, the little shack there. But yeah, I mean, if you're able to, that's where Amazon and Walmart are volume. And because of volume, right, what they actually pay for a product is going to be less than a person who does mom and pop, because you're not buying in that volume. You're getting that discount based on volume.
Oh, absolutely.
So it is.
They got a deep deal.
Yep.
By deep.
I started off on this and I was just kind of going like, well, NBA this weekend. I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to feel about a white dude winning the slam dunk contest. Excuse my prejudice. It just seems counterintuitive to me that, you know.
Did Blake Griffin ever win it?
Yeah.
Well, he biracial.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I think Levine, he was biracial too, right?
Yeah, Zach Levine, Kenny Skywalker, they are the hybrid.
Skinny, he was light bright.
Yeah, light bright. But you know what though, Keith? I'm gonna be honest with you.
And the dude they say play for Orlando. Have you ever seen him play?
He got drafted 3 years ago. However, he's been in the G League because he was actually good in high school. In college, he was a big name guy. I've been following Mac for some years now. He's a great basketball player, man. Like, he can play ball.
Well, he great for the G League. He ain't.
Well, that's
he
only
ain't
because,
busted.
Well, that's only because you got to look at this. Marjon Beauchamp should have been in the G League, but however, he came from the G League in night. But they drafted him to the NBA. For Mac, he was drafted and then sent to the G League, which some of these players that sent to the G League should have been in the NBA compared to someone that was drafted.
I will say this: if you should be in the NBA,
no, look at Marjon.
But there's some with his game.
Man.
There's some with his game that they have identified.
Nah.
Okay.
Come on, man.
So you sentimental, man.
Yeah.
Nah.
No. Because even by him being traded to the Clippers don't even.
Is he gonna play?
He ain't gonna get on the court, so they gonna send him down.
So why he gonna get on the court then, Jermaine?
Who you talking about? You talking about Marjon?
Yeah.
No. This is the whole thing. Marjon got a standard NBA contract.
He got and that's what makes him valuable, because you can include him in deals.
Yeah, doing the trade.
But my question is, why is he not playing?
Because he's trash. You know why he's not playing.
Well, I ain't gonna call him trash. I'm just saying he's not quite.
Yeah,
NBA.
he's trash for the NBA.
Well, trash is a pretty tough term.
Yeah, for the NBA.
Quite harsh, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hey,
that
man,
is
listen,
pretty harsh, man.
sometimes you need that one friend that's gonna tell you the truth.
Oh, here come you and Michelle.
Hey,
Y'all
you just
truth telling.
yeah, you
So
just
now,
need
now
that
you
friend.
his friend.
Now
I
you
didn't.
his friend.
I didn't say I'm.
You know
his
your
friend,
game is garbage.
but
Well,
hey,
thanks, man.
but I'm the type of person that I'm gonna tell you, hey man, you might not want to go around that corner. It's a full pit bull around there that's gonna tear you off.
Let me ask you this question. Okay, because well, let me set it up. I'll set it up, and because me and the GTO used to always go back and forth on this one. Is it ever okay to lie? Is it ever okay to lie?
Is that a question?
Yes.
Something one should just think about for a moment. Let me ponder on that for a moment.
Well, why you got to think about it?
Because I don't know if I need to lie right here now.
Is it okay to lie?
Nope.
Never.
Yes, it is. It is sometimes.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I do have to take that back.
Okay.
Because
the gifted and talented one would argue with me. So here we go. And here's the scenario I gave you all. Heard it before.
Yeah.
I throw it out.
Yeah.
So some dudes out, Debo looking to kill me.
Yeah.
What is that called? Like on site?
Yeah, on site.
On site.
Yeah.
No, he gonna do me in.
Yeah.
Jermaine know where I am.
Right.
Jermaine says I should not tell a lie.
Right.
Should Jermaine tell a lie?
And tell them where you at?
Well, that'd be the truth.
No, I think in a situation like that, knowing what's going to happen, you stay out of it.
No, but you in it now.
Okay, so now that I'm in it, so if I'm asked, hey, do I know where Keith is, and I know that what's going to happen, man,
nigga.
Yeah, I guess that's a wait. So wait,
you had me drop the N word.
So let me ask you this. Wait a minute. So wait a minute. Hold on. So let me ask you this: is it that is if you don't tell, is you or
no, man?
See, because I need to know the whole scenario because you can. For me, man, I'm a slickster, so I can wiggle my way up out of the situation.
You can't wiggle.
Okay, so it's either me or it's you.
No, he ain't gonna say it's either me or you. You know where I am.
Okay. And if they ask me,
yeah,
I'm not telling.
That's all you have to say.
No, but I had to set it up because if it was
have to set it up.
Because if you okay, do you know where he's at? It's either gonna be you or him.
Up here.
Go get that cat. He on 29th the Capitol.
Sit up here having your Socratic moment. Let's see now.
Let's see. Do I know
this thing about lying?
Hey man,
and I was raised
because I need to know. Is it a possibility that I'm gonna get murdered for not telling?
Well, you on my list. I'm gonna tell them where you are.
Oh man,
I'm definitely gonna drop a dime on you. That's it. And he sit up going.
Debo
like,
remind me not to rob a bank with this cat.
Hey, Debo, he going like, well, you know, does it depend on what I was wearing that day? No, man, you know where I am. He get ready to kill me.
Or where he gonna be at in 5 minutes? Which one you want?
Hey, look, and here's my little qualifier. I try not to waste lies. Debo, you were going to say
I might need that line.
I might need that line later. Y'all sit up and just be like, man. Dude, you might need that line later. Don't waste your lies.
Yeah. I mean, I want to preface it right because certainly I don't condone or advocate to just be lying. But depending on the situation, yeah, I might have to tell one.
Yeah. And it came down, that was one of our I love ethics. That was one of my favorite classes. And it came down to something where we become so rigid.
Yeah.
And maybe we're being rigid hypothetically, not faced with it, never know what you're gonna do when you're faced with the situation. But no, man, if I know they're getting ready to take you out,
yeah, it don't have to even be that, man. It could be his old lady think I know where he at. She ain't gonna take him out. She just want to know where he at.
She's gonna beat his head in.
You better call me.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah,
like I ain't seen him.
You better call me.
Bro, you might want to run.
Man, where you, man, dude, look here.
Dude, I'm gonna be like Harriet Tubman's daddy. I'm gonna have that blindfold on. I ain't seen him.
I ain't seen nothing.
I ain't seen nothing. Who?
Man,
look, and you know, people just kill me with their righteousness. I won't never tell a lie.
Yeah.
Stop lying.
Yeah. You just
Stop
lie
lying.
right
You
there.
lying right there.
You lie right there.
You lying right there. Caller, welcome to the program.
Yeah, in the word of elusive, you never answer the question. You answer around the question. That's what you do. You never answer the question. You answer around the question.
Give us an example, Al, of how you answer around
There
the
you
question.
go.
Well, if they say, well, where he's at, I say, well, I don't know where he is, but he's probably somewhere, but I'm pretty sure you'll know before I do. You don't want to give the question.
There you go, Al. There you go, man.
You know,
I know he ain't here. I know I don't know.
What? I know I
And in
won't
the
be
word
asking you no more questions. Maybe
Yeah, that's
think
'cause-
about that.
Yeah, because it's too many ways people can get implemented, and then it make you the bad guy.
Yeah.
So you always answer around the question.
Yeah.
But
Smart
here's
guy.
my real question for you. Do you feel when Elon Musk and his son was in the Oval Office, do you feel it was being disrespectful to Donald Trump? You know, his son telling him, shut the F up and you're no president. See, I thought that was a disrespectful little bastard who was out of his place. And I felt like he should have took care of that right there. And the president sat there with his lips tight looking crazy. That makes him look very weak. What you think?
Well, I guess out of the mouths of babes.
Come on, man. Because I was just about to say.
Babes, there might be something. Look, first of all, Donald Trump is a grown ass man. I could care less about his feelings because he don't care about mine.
There you go, bro.
You know, so if his little feelings are hurt, you know, by a 5-year-old, hey man, so be it. Be a bigger man.
Because I know in my household, my mother or my father would have reprimanded, and they don't care who you are, especially if you there and you're telling me. Because see, that little boy, you know, he got that from a grown up, and you telling me shut the F up in my office.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You're telling me I'm not the president no more. So that means me being the president, I would have said, you get that little bastard out of my office and you got to go too, because you running your mouth.
Well, that's because
we can't do nothing with him because he benefits from birthright citizenship.
But not only
he can't afford him because he was born here. I agree. I think in terms of, you know, how you behave, you know, my mom always taught us respect and how we should respect adults. I mean, that was a
First off, kids shouldn't even been in that environment. That is not a kid.
How about that?
And then secondly,
but I'm
sure that he heard it from he's heard it from people for him to even repeat that.
Look, I went to a PWI in college. What I used to hear on those phones, these kids talking to their parents, I was just like, you know, you always hear that myth. No, that was real. Jesus, mom, blank. I'm going like,
and
whoa, you can do that?
One more thing I wanted to share with you as well that a lot of people don't know. A lot of Elon Musk kids are test tube babies, so they're not coming from the American way. Have a great day.
All right. I wanted to test tube babies get birthright citizenship. Caller, welcome to the program.
No, but they got access to the White House.
Good morning. Hey, what's happening?
Hey, now Mr. Debo said something. He said, "What if it's your partner girl looking for your guy?" Hey,
I ain't seen that Negro.
No, listen. One of my partners, his girl over the years, she done called me a few times looking for him. I just never answered, and then I called him like, "Man, your girl looking for you."
Good lookout, man.
Yeah, because if
I just don't even answer because I don't know what he up to, so I ain't gonna tell her nothing.
Yeah, because if you answer the phone and he told her that he with you, and you know, I ain't seen him, it's over.
Well, I ain't giving no tips on how to get out on your woman, but if I could, one of the things I'm saying, if I'm gonna be with Jermaine, I might want to let Jermaine know
ahead of time
that I'm with Jermaine.
You're like, bro, I'm with you.
And I ain't giving no tips.
That's it.
I'm just saying, don't. I had a buddy back in the day, man. This dude never told me nothing.
Yeah.
And so then when his wife would confront me, even though I'm sitting up there trying to lie, my face is telling the truth. Like, no, he wasn't with me.
Yeah.
You know, so that's just a courtesy call that you need to make.
I had that happen to me, man.
We all done had it happen to us.
Boy, I had that happen, and I'm like, I'm like, what you talking about? She was like, okay, that's all I need to know. And I'm like, I told on you.
And I keep telling brothers that, real talk, women are so much smarter. They cover all of their bases.
Oh, man, they do their homework before they come.
They covered all of their bases.
They do their homework.
Here you go, your spur of the moment.
They done already worked it out.
They done worked it out. Oh, my God. I got to say real quick, I know I got to go. I was talking to, I worked in an environment where it was 80% female. So I learned how to be a girlfriend, just sit there and listen, right? Yeah. So I'm sitting there listening. They said, oh, yeah, what you do is you cook him his favorite meal. I mean, you just lay it out. And she said that by the time he finished eating, he and that come on the couch.
He forgot.
Where you go? Oh, baby, go have a good time. She over there with Jermaine.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you. She sure is.
Keep say bye. Just say bye.
February 29th is my day. February 30th and 31st.
I ain't giving no tips. I'm just saying that's how it happens. All right. Let me thank Michelle. Let me thank my Willa Kirkendall. Let me thank all the callers. Debo, thank you. Jermaine, thank you. Good Lord, Willow Creek don't rise. Hope to talk to everybody tomorrow. If I don't get killed. Go for this place in peace.
Oh, that creek gonna